What's up everyone, this is Tony with JRNY Crypto. Welcome back to another video. So we're currently seeing a dip in the market, but we just had a pretty good week. A lot of altcoins breaking their previous resistance levels. Ethereum doing great as well. Got close to previous all-time highs. Bitcoin broke previous all-time high again. That peaked here around $125,000 mid-August. So we're getting a correction in the market, but that's normal anytime you see a huge run-up like this. And if we check Google trend levels, things have leveled out a little bit here. If we see, this is Bitcoin and crypto search world. This is United States only for the past 12 months. What's interesting is for the United States, the trend level actually corrected and went back down. But if you switch this to worldwide, you can see the trend level is still kind of going up. So that is pretty interesting. Other countries are taking more interest in crypto than the United States right now. But there are big things happening for the United States as well, which I'm going to be going over in this video. A lot of very bullish things. I do believe this could be one of the last corrections before the parabolic altcoin season really starts picking up. So a lot of these top altcoins are either getting close to breaking previous all-time highs, or they have. Some are still lagging a little bit, like Cardano, ADA, and Dogecoin. Still have a bit of ways to go before catching up to previous all-time highs. But to me, those are opportunities. The further they are from previous all-time highs, and as we're going into altcoin season, some of these potentially getting ETFs like Dogecoin and ADA, those could be two good plays since there's so much opportunity there. But I am going to go over more stuff on altcoins in a separate video. I do believe altcoin season is really going to start picking up though in the next couple months based on a couple different factors. So like I said, ETFs, we have a few altcoins that are in the process of getting ETFs: XRP, Solana, Cardano, ADA, Dogecoin, even ones like Pengu. So Litecoin as well. So knowing that there's probably going to be a rush of these that are going to be happening pretty quickly and close together, that's going to help the entire crypto space in my opinion, and that's really going to help altcoin season start picking up once this does start happening. A lot of people are expecting this to start happening in the next couple of months. And then we do have interest rates, which are expected to drop in September. It may just be a little bit at first, but that just starting is going to be bullish. If we actually check out the block news feed here, this is just the search for Powell. So you can see every few days here, Trump is mentioning something, pushing Powell to lower interest rates, making threats, making claims, all kinds of stuff. So there is a lot of pressure. They really want to lower interest rates overall, which is going to help the markets. So once that happens, I think things are going to start really picking up. We're actually getting close to where we're supposed to historically see altcoin season as well. So the Bitcoin stock to flow model, this is important to watch in my opinion. So a certain amount of days after every Bitcoin halving, we usually see the peak of Bitcoin and the crypto cycle, and we are getting close to where that normal peak is, which would end up being around October, November. So things are lining up with that, with the interest rates going to be dropping, and then ETFs coming out for altcoins, other institutional stuff happening, which I do want to go over. A lot of companies have started dollar cost averaging, buying large amounts of Bitcoin, and I think that trend is going to continue. We're going to be seeing other companies, even other countries piling on and doing this, causing a supply shock for Bitcoin, because this time we have massive amounts of Bitcoin being taken out from these entities, whereas before it would mostly be retail that was buying up most of the Bitcoin. So if we get both of these together at some point, I think it's going to cause a huge supply shock for Bitcoin, and we are going to be seeing it break $150,000. A lot of analysts think anywhere from $170,000 to $200,000 will be the peak for Bitcoin this cycle. And once you see Bitcoin approaching $150,000, $170,000, that's when you're going to see a lot of these altcoins starting to shoot up very quickly, going up anywhere between 2 to 5x in a short period of time. We've seen that with previous cycles. For example, if we look at Cardano ADA, the entire history here, you can see every time it does run in the bull markets, It runs up very quickly. You can see it went from 10 cents to $1. on the 2018 bull markets. Went from 20 cents to almost $3 in that period of time here in the last bull markets. And then just recently, end of last year, went from 30 cents to about $1.20 very quickly. So a lot of altcoins will move very quickly once things do start moving. So you do have to keep that in mind and prepare for that. Just know that's how these markets move, and know which projects you want to be holding and prepare for that, because I do think that is coming, where we're going to see ADA shoot up from $1 to $3 very quickly when things actually start moving. So I am still doing the trading series as well on Ethereum, Solana, and Cardano. I'm trading altcoins on all of these blockchains separately, and that's actually going quite well. Both the Cardano and the Ethereum series is pretty much up 2x. We started with 10,000, we're around 20,000. Solana one is not going as great, and that's because I'm trying to flip coins in the trenches and I'm bag holding a little bit too long with some of these. I am still fairly confident, though, I will hit the goal on all three by end of year, especially once altcoin season starts picking up and we start trading quicker. I think it's going to be pretty easy to hit that goal. If you do want to follow along with that, we have live trading alerts in Trade Hero. You can get access to this platform by having a JRNY NFT as well. That will give you access to the JRNY Club and Trade Hero at the same time. So if you guys are interested in that, just check out the JRNY's collection here on Magic Eden. So I want to give you guys a quick idea of how these companies are buying up Bitcoin regularly now. Just in the last few weeks here, there's quite a few of these announcements. Michael Saylor is reposting a lot of these if you want to keep track with them. So as we know, Michael Saylor's strategy company, they've been acquiring Bitcoin dollar cost averaging pretty regularly. His last big purchase was $2.5 billion. They bought 21,000 Bitcoin, around $117,000 per Bitcoin. So that was July 29th when they announced that, but he just announced as well, this was yesterday, another $51 million, 430 Bitcoin. So he's going to continue doing this, but now other companies are following along in this. I'm going to go through some of these pretty quickly. Metaplanet has acquired 775 Bitcoin for 93 million. Another one, Metaplanet, 518 Bitcoin for 61 million. The Smarter Web Company acquired 295 Bitcoin. And this was August 11th. Another August 11th, another Michael Saylor, 155 Bitcoin, $18 million. Another company here, 13 Bitcoin for 1.5 million. This is just a summary here. Week 32 Bitcoin Treasury Strategy updates. So 6 new treasuries launched with 1,000 Bitcoin. 8 future treasuries announcements, $145 million worth. 24 companies added around 4,000 Bitcoin. So more and more companies are starting to do this. Capital B confirms the acquisition of 126 Bitcoin, 12.4 million. H100 Group, we have purchased an additional 60 Bitcoin. And then another one here, 85 Bitcoin, $10 million. Another Metaplanet, 463 Bitcoin at $53 million. Another Smarter Company, 225 Bitcoin. That's pretty much it for that. Just a quick run through that I went through. Those are pretty much just posts I found on Michael Saylor's page, but that just goes to show a lot of these companies are starting to do this regularly. They're not just doing it one time. They're starting to dollar cost average. They're starting to look for more ways to raise money to acquire more Bitcoin. And while that's coming together, when retail demand hasn't really picked up that much yet, once both start picking up more, because as more companies do this and see success, more companies will follow. Not only that, you're starting to have governments doing this as well, not only in the United States, but other countries that are going to be acquiring Bitcoin regularly. And then as you have retail interest picking up, there's just not going to be Bitcoin supply to purchase at the lower prices, which is going to skyrocket the price. That's this scenario, retail interest picking up, where Bitcoin's going to be breaking $150,000 fairly easily. Just because the supply just isn't going to be there for that. Vice President JD Vance stated 100 million Americans will own Bitcoin before too long. So I do think there's some bigger stuff on the back end on a government level that is playing out here. And then something strange here, we had Trump administration confirm the US will not be buying Bitcoin, instead building its strategic Bitcoin reserve through confiscated and holding it rather than selling. But then right after that, Trump administration is exploring ways to acquire more Bitcoin for the strategic reserve. So we're getting a lot of back and forth, I've been noticing from different people here. This pretty much happened back to back. And then we also had Arthur Hayes. Basically, he sold a bunch of crypto, and then like 2 days later, he bought a bunch of Ethereum back and stated he was bullish on it. He thought a dip was coming, and then Ethereum pumped really hard and he bought a bunch back. So we're getting a bunch of people flip-flopping and going back and forth. So we, as you can see, even the experts, they don't really know. So another one going back and forth, Google bans crypto wallets in the US and EU. And then pretty much immediately after they provided clarity, Google drops plans to ban non-custodial crypto wallets after getting some backlash. Google later clarified that non-custodial wallets aren't in scope, but the incident shows the risk of corporate-driven regulation. So we're seeing a lot of this back and forth here, but regardless, I'm still bullish for the next couple months. I think things are starting to cook up, and I think a lot of stuff is going to start happening, like the interest rates being lowered, altcoin ETFs starting to roll out, these institutions continuing to buy, more institutions getting on board, governments getting on board, buying Bitcoin, just a flow of new institutions and governments and stuff getting involved with Bitcoin is going to help push that, while retail demand is rising as well. That will create a supply shock for Bitcoin, and what's good for Bitcoin is going to be good for the entire space. A lot of these top 10 altcoins breaking their previous all-time highs is going to be big news as well. Ethereum catching up is huge. A lot of people, they root against Ethereum, but Ethereum's really what's going to help boost the entire altcoin space. You can see how close it got to previous all-time highs here. But if we see Ethereum go to $10,000, that means a lot of altcoins are going to be skyrocketing as well. You're going to see a lot of these 50 to 100x's in the smaller altcoins happening after Ethereum breaks that. You're going to see coins like Cardano ADA probably approaching previous all-time highs, Dogecoin. A lot of stuff is going to be moving very quickly once that happens, and that's when we're going to see this retail chart in the Google Trends. This is going to be skyrocketing as well. If we actually zoom out, we can see the last bull market here. So you can see the current is still pretty low comparing it to the previous actual bull market. We're going to be seeing these trend levels getting close to this previous bull market level, where there's a lot more happening this time, in my opinion. Just a lot of retail hasn't really gotten too interested yet, but once all the altcoin ETFs start rolling and a lot more of this bullish stuff starts playing out, I think that's when retail interest is really going to start picking up again, and that's when we're going to see this parabolic altcoin season happening. So you want to get in before that if you're going to. That's really where it's going to be too late. Once you see this chart already looking like this, it's going to be too late to get in on a lot of altcoins. A lot of newer ones coming out. That's where there's going to be a lot of opportunity at that time, is a lot of the small cap and newer coins that are launching at the time will have a lot of opportunity, but a lot of the top ones like Solana, Cardano, and stuff like that will already have broken previous all-time highs, and the opportunity there will be a lot less. So a couple more things here. Harvard reveals $120 million investment into BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF. And this is what I'm saying. We're going to start seeing this as a trend here. More and more institutions, governments, different whales buying massive amounts of Bitcoin, not only once, but starting to do it regularly. And this is just the start for a lot of them. The more you see doing this, the more of these other institutions and governments are going to take interest as well. So that's huge. And then this is pretty interesting. Wyoming launches America's first state-issued stablecoin. There's a lot of money in stablecoins, and people don't realize this. There's fees for every transaction. The more people are using the stablecoins, the more money that is being made on these fees. So we are going to start seeing this as a trend as well. We've already seen a lot of different companies and stuff starting to launch their own stablecoins. The US government is actually considering doing stablecoins to pay off national debt as well, just because the fees is so huge on that. So Wyoming launches the Frontier stablecoin, the first US state-issued stablecoin backed by Franklin Advisors and audited monthly. Will be cross-chain, live on major blockchains like Ethereum, Solana, Polygon, and Avalanche, with Kraken among the first exchanges to support it. So pretty interesting. looking forward to see how that plays out and how they do with that. This could be an indicator that there's many more to follow. This is just increasing crypto adoption on top of that. So a lot of good things happening in general. I missed a lot as well. There's been so much happening, but I'm going to give you guys another update on top altcoins I'm bullish on. There's a few in the top 50 here I'm more bullish on than the rest, just because where they're currently at with price and upcoming updates and everything. A lot of high risk to reward ratio there. Compared to other ones that are close to their previous all-time highs, like BNB and Tron and Solana, some of these other ones. But that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you found it useful, I do appreciate you guys like the video. Comment below what you're bullish on for the altcoin season, and I'll see you guys in the next video.